mother died when she was 75 years old, and I'd already appeared before health committees giving submissions already at that point, and my mum knew that, and she didn't agree with it. I always tried to include her in discussions, but she wasn't interested. About a couple of months before Mum died, I was really concerned that she was on her last leg, so to speak, and she was having chemotherapy, and it was all the side effects for that. So myself and a few other people in the family got together and we did a little ritual of putting in a little bit of smoke each and rolled a joint for Mum. We did it really consciously and mindfully, and I put it in an envelope and I gave it to Mum at the end of the evening, and I said, you know, this is something that when nothing else is working for you, I know this works and I'd like you to try it if you can. So Mum was completely paranoid, of course, and thought she was going to get pulled over by the police on the way home, and it was really quite a stress for her, that whole legal angle of it. You know, a few weeks later I got a desperate phone call from my mother asking me for some more. This particular morning that I'm thinking of, it was 9 o'clock in the morning, and we got Mum up. My sister had come over to visit. She was in a really poor state. She was sitting in a chair with her head down. She couldn't talk. She looked dreadful. She was in so much pain and she was nauseous. I said to Mum, so Mum, what about plan C? And she agreed, so I went and got a joint and lit it for her and handed it to her. My two sisters were sitting there observing it. And I guess Mum might have had 3 or 4 puffs on this joint. Her head came up. Her face cleared, she could actually have a conversation with us. She was in no pain and she wasn't nauseous. Just like that. When you actually personally observe that in someone, it just makes you more determined to fight for the legalisation of it. I've been in the presence of people with cerebral palsy who cannot have a conversation so easily. Within 3 or 4 puffs of a joint, they're sitting there calmly, quietly, without reacting, jerking around and talking clearly. It's not only great for me to have a conversation with my friends who are like that, of course it's really wonderful for them that they can sit there and they can converse without having to struggle with people not understanding what they're talking about. And just for these 2 things alone, you know, besides my story about how I use it for pain and inflammation and nausea, you know, for those reasons it should be legalised, let alone my story. My doctors give me all the medication in the world, morphine, codeine, you name it, because of the kind of pain that I experience. The side effects of those medications are hideous, and so I prefer not to take them. I claim my right as a human being to heal myself using herbal remedies. I'm 60 years old now and I've had rheumatoid for nearly 25 years, and even my rheumatologist is very surprised that I'm doing so well without taking her conventional medications. And there's only one reason for that, and that's, I believe, the power of cannabis. I do talk about it in situations like this. I do talk about it in front of government select committees as well. I'm very happy about that. You know, you Google my name, it's out there. I stand by what I say, and if I have to go to jail for that, so be it, you know, but I'm hoping not. But, you know, if I have to make that kind of stand, so be it, because I'm really passionate about it, because I know I'm a living example of it, and I know of other people that use it successfully too. It really concerns me how they demonise cannabis in the press and, you know, generally. It really concerns me that they focus on the fact that someone's had a joint and not, you know, 6 rums and 2 boxes of beer and then crashed the car. I find that really infuriating. The demonising of cannabis is wrong and criminal.